What's going on, everybody? This is Island Hopper TV, and today we're going to talk about the things to know when visiting the Netherlands. Let's do it. So here's something to know. There's a lot of places to visit when you come to the Netherlands. There's Utrecht, The Hague, which is the city that I'm in now, also known as Den Haag, the capital. There's Rotterdam. There is the Poppy Barns in between, and Kuklof. There's the beaches. There's Haarlem. So many different places that you can explore when you actually come out here. Also, there's the big city of Rotterdam, which is a part of the Metroplex here in The Hague. Look at that. It's a big underground kind of city called Groot Market. Anyway, so yes, there's more to the Netherlands than just exploring Amsterdam. Amsterdam is the most popular one because of the canals, but there's also Giethoorn, which has canals, and that's a village. So sometimes you just have to get on the train and explore. So one of the most common questions people ask about when they come here, especially the young people, is do they have the red light district? Can you go to these cafes or coffee shops where you can indulge in that green plant? I'm not going to say the name here because YouTube doesn't necessarily like that word, but you guys get the idea. They also have casinos, so Dutch are very tolerant people, and yes, they do have it, but in the daytime it's calm, peaceful, safe, all that, and then at night they dim the lights and it gets exciting. So just some quick facts about the Netherlands. Did you know there's 17 million people who live here? But also, there's more to Holland and the Netherlands than just canals. There's also beaches. I'm actually at the beach right now. So there's a pretty chill vibe at the beach. And it only gets better in late spring and summer. So keep that in mind. You know what? Let's talk hotels and accommodation. So from my experience, this is what the general hotel room, the average hotel room in the Netherlands and in Europe, really, especially in the north, looks like. So, very comfortable bed. Okay, these beds are always comfortable. I do not complain about that. Rooms are small, and you typically get a view that looks something like this. If you call that scenic, then you're gonna like it. It is a scenic view, actually. It's just out here, it's not beaches and blue water, it's more of the city. So, very comfortable rooms. If you talk about price in particular, a room like this cost me about 150 euros, which I think with a conversion rate of 0.91 comes out to around $165 to $170 a night. This is actually the Marriott. I stayed at another Marriott just called Moxie. This one's the Marriott Den Haag. So I just wanted to put that out there. About under $200 a night. You can typically find rooms from about starting at $70 a night all the way up to, on average, $150 to $160 per night. Let's talk safety in Netherlands, Holland. So here I am walking around Rotterdam. And yes, I would say very safe for families, for couples, for solo travelers. There are very few things that you have to worry about, but I would say literally the most dangerous thing for your safety that you have to worry about is bikes. People riding bikes. Not saying that that's extremely dangerous, but you do want to make sure you are not walking in the bike lane, because you will notice that bikes fly by. I mean, people really ride bikes a lot here, so that's the thing you got to watch out for. As far as crime, as long as you're going out in the daytime, it's completely, totally safe everywhere. Now at night, obviously there's some more dodgy districts, like the red light districts, some of the towns, but even then, really safe. So don't worry about safety here in Netherlands. It's a safe place. as safe as any in the world, I would say. So let's talk about places to go, things to see, what's there to do, right? So there's 4 main cities that I'm going to tell you about. Rotterdam, which is the one I'm in now, okay? Then there's Amsterdam, then there's Utrecht, and then there's The Hague. Now, Rotterdam and The Hague are considered a part of the same metro area. Amsterdam is about an hour away from here, and then about 45 minutes south of Amsterdam is Utrecht. Okay, those are the 4 main cities. There's a major airport in Rotterdam and The Hague, and then there is also a major airport at Amsterdam called Schiphol. Most people come in through Schiphol. Now, when it comes to getting around, there's going to be plenty of trains, and there's going to be places in between, like Geithorn, and there's going to be Koopkaf. If I'm saying that correctly, it is where the tulips bloom in the springtime. Geithorn is where they have the canals and the little boats. Very quaint little village. There's also other areas in between there, but I just wanted to point that out because, yes, you're going to want to know that information. So let's talk weather in Netherlands. Whether you're in Amsterdam, Rotterdam, The Hague, wherever you are, you will notice the weather tends to be a bit bipolar. So it's supposed to be cold today, according to the forecast, but we have a break in the clouds, and we've had this forecasted the last 3 days where it was supposed to be cloudy all day, and it ended up having a nice break in the clouds. But we're in springtime, the time when the actual tulips bloom. If you're looking for tulips, you need to come here in the springtime. Now, in the summertime, that's the best weather, I would say. Wintertime, it does get chilly, but it doesn't snow a lot here in the Netherlands like you would expect. All right, let's talk about affordability. So, as you know, Europe can be pricey, and that's going to hit your wallet and your pocketbook, especially in the summertime when the demand is high. So, summer in the Netherlands, prices are higher. Right now, on average, I'm paying anywhere between $150 to $200 a night for a very comfortable, modern accommodation. There are cheaper accommodations that you can find on the outskirts of town or in hostels. When it comes to food, the food prices are very friendly. They're not overly expensive. 10 euros seems to be the average price for a meal. Okay. When it comes to transportation, very cheap. You can pretty much go anywhere around the town or anywhere around the city, the whole country in general, for a very reasonable price without even needing to rent a car. Where it does get expensive is with the taxis. I've noticed taxis are much more expensive than Uber, so keep that in mind. Taxis are going to be driving in these Mercedes. They're more expensive than Uber. So if you get a chance, download the Uber app if you want to save money on the in-between transportation when you're not riding the tram or one of the ferry boats or the actual train. So anyways, let's keep this thing moving. Affordable country, I would say, by European standards. All right, let's talk about the language barrier. Are you going to have a problem communicating in the Netherlands? Because after all, English is a second language. But the good news is the #1 best speaking second language for English in Europe is the Netherlands. They just knocked off the Swedes and the Danish for the top spot. All right, let's talk food in the Netherlands. So they have a variety of local cuisines, including sausage dishes. They also have soups, lots of bread and pastries, including crepes, really good crepes actually, pancakes. They love their pancakes. They also have a variety of different Asian dishes. So as you know, the Indonesian cuisine is popular, the Chinese cuisine. So there's a variety of different food that you'll be able to pick from when you come to the Netherlands. I would say the Netherlands does breakfast really good. So let's not forget about everybody's favorite caffeinated beverage, a coffee. Let's talk transportation. So getting around on foot, very easy in the Netherlands in every town and city. Also, getting around on a bicycle. You'll notice many bikes in Amsterdam, in Rotterdam, The Hague. So you get a lot of bike traffic. Also, trams and trains. very popular. You almost don't need to get in a car the whole time you are in Amsterdam. If you do have to take an Uber, it is more affordable than a taxi. I did notice taxis are more expensive, and obviously they have major airports in Rotterdam and in Amsterdam. But because Netherlands is so small, you can get around the whole country on a train, no problem. Or just go up and down a river on a river ferry, or a boat, or a cruise. After all, with the amount of canals and rivers in the Netherlands, being that it's almost sea level, lots of water here, so getting around on a boat or a canal, speedboat, very popular. And here's a look at the currency here. Just a few more things to know about visiting the Netherlands. The money is the euro. Also, when it comes to tipping, it's not necessarily required, but it's considered nice if you do get above and beyond service, and you don't have to tip a lot, but something is better than nothing. So keep that in mind. Also, there are beaches in the northern part of the country, and in the summertime they get very packed with lots of people who have been waiting to get their tan on. And as we wrap up this Things to Know About the Netherlands, I would like to conclude with letting you know that the Netherlands technically should not exist, but it does because of dams. That's why they call it Amsterdam, the Amstel Dam, Rotterdam, because they built these dams, they stopped the water from the ocean from taking over this land. So the Netherlands has created a very successful dike system that has made life in the Netherlands possible, but technically the ocean wants this land. So very cool. But anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.